Alright, take one. Is this thing on? Hello, Internet! Welcome to my 100 Days series, building a cozy farm. The camera crew thought it would be a good idea to get my thoughts on things as they happen, so you'll be seeing a lot of me in this dusty old barn. My goal for the next 100 days is pretty simple, but it's going to be a lot of work. I want to build a little slice of paradise right here. A cozy farm with everything I need. Crops, animals, a beautiful house, the whole shebang. Today is day 1, and honestly, I'm just looking for a good spot to start digging. Alrighty then, first things first, Is that a village? Okay. Hello, Mr. Moo Moo. You're gonna be in the village one... Wait, no, the farm one day. Yeah, you're gonna like it in there. Okay, what do we have? And... yeah, no. What do we have here? Okay, decent. Not the best, but, looks like there isn't... What? Okay, perfect. Okay. Hello, Jack. And Estelle. Okay, yeah, good day to you. Hello there, little one. Have some potatoes. Alrighty then, first things first, we need our pickaxe. And we need a axe. I don't think I can use the axe in the mines, but it'll be useful in the future, I hope. No, of course it's gonna be useful in the future. Let's put away all of this stuff and head straight for the mines. I need some potatoes, some bread. Hey, get away from me. Oh, you pesky zombie. How do you even find me in here? I mean, that's a pretty wide open. It started as a simple hole, but it kept getting bigger and bigger. It looked like I had stumbled upon a pretty decent little cave. I followed it all the way down to Deep Slate, and it opened up to this massive cavern. Alright, let's craft this pickaxe and grab this gold. Yeah, so I found a lot of ores. And when I say a lot, I mean a gazillion. I'm not gonna run out of these for a long time. At least I hope. Is that what I think it is? Please be more than one. Okay, two. Two? Really? Oh, come on. More diamond! Yeah, it was just one. Okay, just get away from me. Holy, this place is full of mobs everywhere. Diamonds. Two. Okay, my luck with diamonds isn't the best. More than two? Just two. Alrighty then, time to get out of here. And so I found this ravine, climbed back out, and lost all senses of direction. But I found the village. And these weird grass things, no clue what they are. But maybe in the future I can use them. Okay, perfect. Now I need to find a spot to make the base. Somewhere far, but not too far, because I'm gonna need those trades from the village. This seems about right. Not too far. We've got a river, a mountain, and we can put all of our stuff in here. Grab the rest of our stuff, put it in here. Well, it's not our stuff, it's stolen from the village, but it's our stuff now. Finders keepers. So let's take this axe, a little bit of food. Bread will do fine. And I know you can hear that music coming in, so you know what time it is. It's time to cut some trees. So I grabbed a bunch of birch, a bunch of oak, And my luck from earlier does not stop. Just you wait. Is this my favorite? Okay, I love dark oak. Gonna make a beautiful house with this. Use it everywhere and anywhere. Okay, so day 4. I'm sure some of you are wondering why I'm covered in what smells suspiciously like sulfur. The simple answer is, I got an idea. A great idea. I thought I wanted to build a quarry machine. Something to help me automate the mining process for our big builds. Turns out, these things are a little tricky. They need nether quartz. And the only place to get nether quartz is, well, you know, the nether. So, yeah. On day 4, a day when I should have been happily planting carrots, I was building a nether portal. But we did it. We survived. And now, we've got the key ingredient for our little mining machine. All in the name of making this farm, cozier, I think? I had a plan. A plan to make a quarry because I don't want to go back to the mines anytime soon. Okay, all my diamonds are going into this investment. Hopefully it's a good investment. This should bring me back some more diamonds, some more iron, and a bunch of other stuff. But I need to go to the nether first, of course. Man, why do these need nether quartz? It's pretty annoying. But oh well. Let's mine this obsidian. And no, that's it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, 4, 5, and 6. Here we go. Adventure into the nether. What in the good lord is this? Thorns? Oh, okay, that's a lot. Ooh, new kind of tree. It's pretty small. Hellbark. Oh, Hellbark. Okay, this is gonna be nice. You see, Hellbark is a pretty dark color, and it's gonna go perfectly with the dark oak. I hope. Get away from me! Oh my... What? Oh. Finally, I can craft this thing. Area card. Okay. Let's see. Now, I see that mountain over there, and I think that's gonna be a perfect spot for the quarry. Right at the bottom of it. Or our quarry's at the top of mountains. Yeah, I don't really know where a quarry goes, but I think next to a mountain's gonna be pretty good. This thing is fast, holy. But it's gonna use a lot of coal then, isn't it? Man, I'm gonna have to mine for coal now. Okay. Quarry, be a nice quarry and dig up a bunch of coal. Alrighty then, we are all set. The quarry mined up a bunch of dirt and a bunch of cobblestone. And I put a bunch in the furnaces. So now, the house. Yeah, I don't know what I was going for. I found a picture online. I was like, let's see. I'm a pretty bad builder, as you may see already. And I just searched up farmhouses on Google. Yeah, I looked at all of the pictures and I saw one I like, and I'm gonna try replicating it to my greatest knowledge, capabilities, of course. I do not know how to build in Minecraft, but we're both gonna learn together, I think. What I'm going for is a nice old porch at the front and one at the back, so the house is gonna be fairly symmetrical from all sides. So you look at the front, you look at the back, you can't really tell what's the front, what's the back. This house just has it's just a front door, the entire thing. Yeah, you can come in from any side you want, do whatever you want, and yeah. So building these up, I am going to further realize that oak does not look good. Yeah, bread break. But for the inside, yeah, the flooring's gonna... It needs some work. I'm just gonna make a fair outline of it for now. And these two sides, so as the house is gonna be symmetrical, one side we're gonna have a kitchen, the other side will have a storeroom. Permanently, we won't have the storeroom here. We'll make an entire other building to build the storeroom. We'll just have chests upon chests and maybe even a copper golem in there. Slaving off. Just organizing my stuff. And here I came to the realization that oak won't go so well here. And where there's building, we're prone to running out of resources. Yeah, that Hellbark, it's kind of scarce. I managed to only find about 4 to 5-ish trees, each having just 3 to 4 logs, which isn't a lot, but luckily with the meager amount of leaves the trees have, I was able to snatch 3 saplings, which would give me enough to make the roof for now, but later on for any other builds, I'm going to need a lot more of Hellbark. It was a slow and very repetitive process because I'm not good with roofs either. So I made a bunch of new designs, I chopped down a bunch of new designs, and I settled with this small slabbed roof. It curved down just at the angle I wanted, and it looked perfect! Alright, let's get to editing this thing. Here we go. Let's see. No, this can't be happening. No, really? Dang it. So yeah, the big house build, you guys were supposed to see the whole process. All the hard work, the little details, the late nights spent crafting spruce logs. It was going to be an epic montage. I was so proud of it. But things don't always go according to plan. Turns out the camera crew, bless their hearts, somehow managed to lose the footage. Days of building, gone. Just gone. We're talking about the entire frame of the house, the roof, even the beginnings of the interior layout. Poof! Vanished into the digital ether. Honestly, I'm trying to be a good sport about it, but a part of me just wants to go sit in a corner and cry. And to be honest, I wasn't about to rebuild it just for the camera. So let's just say a lot of hard work happened off screen. Consider it a montage that was so good, it broke the camera. Anyway, the house is done, and it's even better than I imagined. I can't wait to show you all the interior and start making this place feel like a home. So let's get back to it, the house is waiting. After a lot of hard work, even if the recording was ruined, the house was finally done. The next step was to make the land around it suitable for farming. I started excavating and terraforming the surrounding area, flattening it all out. It resulted in a ton of stacks of dirt blocks, which I knew would be useful for filling in gaps later on. The landscape was taking a new form, and I was excited to start working. I went to check on the quarry, and to my surprise, it had accumulated a lot of different types of stone. But my homecoming was interrupted by 2 pillagers at the side entrance of the house. I easily took them out, but I got a hit with the voluntary exile effect, which meant a raid would start if I went back to the village. I had to find a cow to milk away the effect. In the meantime, I did some outdoor work, building a temporary dock for my boat. And it got marked as a future plan. I'll be coming back to this, don't you worry. I did one last trip to the quarry, and it was filled to the brim with stone. It was a good day, despite the pillagers. On day 21, I decided it was time to start the first farm, the wheat farm. I used my few remaining dark oak logs to craft fences and gates. Not that many, but it'll make do for the time. I also paved out a pathway in the grass around the house and towards where I'm gonna build the farm. Knowing I won't have close to enough fences to build the farm, I decided to go to the dark oak forest once again to grab as many logs as I could. With my trusted stone axe, which surprisingly held up, I chopped down a bunch of dark oak trees and a few birch trees, and I headed back over to the farm. I saw a few flowers, but nothing special, hoping that I could see some more crops to use, but oh well, I just headed back to the farm. With all the dark oak I had brought, I made a lot more fences, and these are gonna prove their worth when I build this humongous farm. Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. I had a brief idea of what to build, but I kinda got sidetracked, and yeah, you'll see what I did. On day 22, I woke up and broke down the wonky monstrosity I built last night, and decided to go for a more simple symmetrical design. After cutting away all of this, I settled for a decently sized square for the wheat farm. It looked nice, and it'll perform just as good as that huge thing I was gonna do. So I brought over a bucket of water and made a infinite water pool. This isn't gonna stay for long as I only need 4 buckets out of it, one of which I've already put down over there. I then tilled up all of the farm soil and made room for the new seeds that I was going to plant. Wheat seeds. Our wheat farm is up and running now. I ran inside because I remembered I had a few more wheat seeds to plant. Hey, someone left that open. Oh well. 32 wheat seeds. We're gonna plant these and officially have our first farm started. And now, no time to waste. I knew exactly what I'm doing next. And I think you know too. More building. Oh, let's just patch this up. Didn't expect this to be here. So this symmetrical pen is the exact same size as a wheat farm, and here I'm planning to put, what was it again? Yes, onions. I was then surprised to see 2 creepers right where I was building. Perfect. But I shot them away, and that spider too. He started coming at me. I had an idea, but it was short-lived, because this does not look good. In fact, it looked terrible, so we're just gonna stick with the standard fence. After paving the pathway a bit further and texturing it with the cobblestone, it was all done. The pathway, not the farm. That we still need to work on. I planted the very first batch of onions that I had, only a few in my inventory, and the rest were in the chest in home. The farm was excelling at an excellent rate, everything going to plan. We had the wheat farm up and running, and now even the onion. I thought whether I should plant any other plants with the onions, maybe the potatoes, but I think just the onions would be good here, for now. So I planted the rest of the onions I had, and we had a fully functional onion farm. Well, a third of the way there? It's perfect. Because my iron armor had broken, and I was down to a single ingot, I decided to use the copper mod. I had to craft some new tools and armor. They'll do for now. So I crafted myself a copper axe, a copper shovel, and a few bits of armor. Not the helmet. I don't know. I wasn't feeling like putting a helmet on. Alright, major milestone complete. The first 2 crops are in. We've got our wheat farm going, and the onion patch is looking fantastic. It's amazing what you can accomplish when you focus, isn't it? Of course, all that hard work also brings a lot of, let's just say, exposure to the elements. So I decided it was time to get some proper protection. All that iron on tools for the farm, and that set of armor that broke, it was all gone. So, hey, copper works. It's not the best, but it's better than nothing. It's a little restrictive, but I'll manage it. The helmet though? Yeah, I didn't feel like it. I continued terraforming, breaking away a hill next to the house to make room for a new farm. Maybe the vineyard? Maybe a different one. So I just dug the stone, put down the dirt, and eventually I was met with a really nice surprise. What's that? Wait, is that an otter? Right under the floorboards. No way. Hello, baby. Oh my god, how'd you get down here? Did I build right over you? Oh my god. Silly me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, no. The otter. Is it dead? Otter? Oh, there you are. Let's get you inside. So, yeah, now I have an otter as a pet? Or is it just staying there? No clue. But at least I've got an otter. I proceeded with my work, putting in dirt, covering up all the stone, and just making it flat to welcome in the new farms that I'm going to work on. I tried to make the side of the hill look as natural as possible, but I don't know. You tell me. Does it look good? Does it look bad? Oh well. And here we had it. We were done with the side. Now for the other side. Yay! Ah, this is getting really boring. But it's all for a good cause. The cozy farm. I ended the day off with a little wheat harvest. It's difficult knowing which ones have fully grown and which ones have not. But I got through it. And we had plenty of wheat to make, what, 5, 6 loaves of bread? It's a fair living. And then I went over to the onions, and these especially, I do not know which ones are harvestable and which ones are not, but oh well, we'll just break them and see. Once I got inside, I had an idea. I saw a post of someone who made a makeshift wheelbarrow with a composter and a grindstone, which I wanted to implement into the farm. Yeah, that looks good? Oh well. It's a wheelbarrow, and we don't need to think that much about it. We'll put one right about here. Oops, wrong positioning. Yeah, here we go. Right there. And we head off to bed. What? Monsters? Where? They're not on the roof, are they? Oh well, let's just move the bed. Yeah, I can't do this. Day 25, I decided to take the 6 emeralds I had to my name and see if the villagers were willing to trade. Okay, let's see. Here we are. The village square. Or town square. I noticed Estelle, the librarian, had given up her job. But Jack, the other one, didn't really have any good trades either. So, yeah, let's go to the next one. Oh, the pig's back. Hello, piggy. I then met Diana? No clue what to call him. He's a cartographer, but you're a weaponsmith now. What? No, get Estelle? Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, you're real passionate about your job. Yippee! I saw that the number of villagers was dwindling, and I think I know the reason. These huge shrubs, or are they bushes? Whatever they are, the iron golems, they're having real trouble traversing across the village. So, yeah, I cleaned that up. And, to my surprise, a wandering traveler. Or is it a wandering trader? Let's just call him by his name. Winston. No, is it Weston? These names are difficult. I went to Shelly and wow, efficiency 5? Fire aspect 1. This is amazing. But I don't think I can get bamboo for you. But I might be able to get one singular emerald. Once I came home, I decided that, yeah, we're planting potatoes in here. Because those onions, I don't know when they're gonna grow to their fullest. And having a good stock on potatoes for later, it's not bad. Harvesting the wheat that I had grown, I knew that a certain farmer in the village will love to have some wheat. I dedicated the rest of day 26 to getting a villager into the farm. Having a villager right here would be perfect for me. Maybe a farming villager? That'll be amazing. And looks like Estelle isn't a weaponsmith anymore. She's got a hobby for changing her job. And I can see that. How do you place a boat? Oh, wait, what? How? Okay, can I? No, I can't lead you. How do you? Ooh, these trades are amazing. Oh! Now let's take your bed. And where's the composter? There we go. Now let's take you back home. And you'll be happy in the village, right? Yeah, the plan didn't go as smoothly as I thought it would. I got attacked by a witch. And hearing that there's a zombie nearby, this might be the end of me. Hopefully not. I managed to get back to the house with half a heart. Not that good. But luckily there weren't any mobs outside the house. Somehow. A miracle. And I just went to bed. So you know how sometimes you have a plan, a perfect plan? Well, I had one of those, and the plan involves Shelley. Shelley, a wonderful librarian, had a book for sale, Efficiency 4. You have no idea how much I wanted that book for the farm. I could have a super pickaxe, a super shovel, but it was expensive. The only thing he wanted was paper for emeralds. I have a whole sugarcane farm. This was supposed to be easy. I spent some time harvesting, crafting, and crafting some more. I was a paper factory. I finally had enough to trade, I had the paper in my inventory, and I was ready to get my book. I was so excited, and then I realized I had completely forgotten to go back to Shelley. I got distracted by, I don't know, a chicken, a butterfly, and now I have this giant stack of paper. So now I have an entire stockpile of paper, so much paper, the biggest paper company this side of the overworld has ever seen. But no Efficiency 4 book. It was day 27 and all that hard work went to nothing. Estelle just walked out the house and back to the village. And I was not a fan of bringing her back. So I just went to check with the librarians, and a miracle, Efficiency 4, and they want paper for emeralds. This is perfect. I have a sugarcane farm, I can get paper, I can get Efficiency 4, everything's right on track. So I went home and I got as much sugarcane as I could. I got some from the miniature farm I have going on right now. And the rest that was around this lake area. Or is it a river? I've been calling it a river. Maybe... I don't know. But then, something caught my eye. A new kind of crop. And to my surprise, rice! Yep, we have rice. And that, folks, is a essential to Farmer's Delight. We can make a whole bunch of new recipes. But, yeah, you won't be seeing rice anytime soon. I completely forgot about it. It's just in my inventory, right there, and then it's gonna be in a chest somewhere for the rest of its life. Until I hopefully remember that it's there. So I went over to the wheat farm and patched up the tiny hole, or like, whatever you'd call it, the tiny opening that was left, and harvested the little bit of wheat in hopes that Estelle is still a farmer and she might buy my crops. Knowing that I'm going to need a lot more dark oak wood, I crafted a bunch more axes. They're not the best, but they're fairly good. At least I don't have to use a stone one. So I headed on over to the forest to cut as many trees as I could with the 3 axes I had and the one that's about to break. I got a bunch more wood, specifically birch. Hey, get away. You, oh my god. Okay, you're dead. And, oh, well, the creeper did most of the work right there. So this birch wood I'm getting, we're just gonna make sticks out of it. And the dark oak, that's it. We're gonna be making more fences out of it. But knowing me, I got curious and I wandered off. And mainly those zombies kind of scared me to cross the river. It's just an excuse. And then eventually I found these pink flowers. I don't know what they're called. But then I also found tiny bushes. And you won't believe what they are, because this is a crucial thing that we need. They're red grape seeds. Yep, we've got grapes, And now we can make a vineyard. Or is it a vineyard? Don't know how to pronounce that. But, oh well. And yeah, there were a lot of mobs. But I kept on going as far as I could. I eventually crafted another boat because it was just open ocean ahead of here. And then I saw it. That yellow plant again. We got more rice, which is perfect because that one piece of rice was not going to be enough to start an entire rice farm. It was going to take too long. But then I also saw these more yellow and red stuff. It was cabbage and beetroot. Perfect. Just what we needed. More crops to add to the farm. And then stumbled across a purple biome. Purple flowers, purple trees, purple everything. Sadly, I wasn't smart enough to grab saplings or the tree. Or maybe it was just oak. No clue. But then I also wanted this acacia tree, but the leaves weren't gonna give me a sapling anytime soon. So I just had to cut it all down. Barely with 3 hunger, I walked all the way back to the house and put away all of my new findings. These were gonna be amazing. And then this sneaky skeleton. He just came in, shot me a couple of times. That took away a lot of my health. But then we crafted a lot, and I mean a lot of fences and fence gates. Because we were gonna need a whole bunch if we were gonna build all of these new farms that I'm thinking of. The next farm is going to be symmetrical to the other two. And in here, we're going to be planting our cabbages and our beetroot. For now at least. But in the future, I'm planning to make every single one of these farms have a different crop. And not 2 or 3 different kinds because, yeah, I don't like that aesthetic. I saw that this would be the perfect place to make a well in the coming future. Not anytime soon, because we've got other stuff to do. We're gonna till all of this farmland, and we're gonna plant our very first cabbages and our very first beetroot. The next farm is going to be a tomato farm. Yeah, we're finally getting to that. I've had those seeds laying in the chest for way too long. And I'm thinking of a rectangular pen for these, because any other farm in this tiny area wouldn't look as good as a tomato farm would. Halfway into this build, I remember that we're gonna need rope. And we're gonna need a lot of it, because tomatoes, you can either just have them on the ground, 1 block, or they can go up a few and create tomato vines, which are pretty good because for 1 crop we get a bunch, and I mean a bunch of harvest. So I spent all day out there getting straw, perfect amount actually. I was just about to head inside and start making all the ropes I'll need for the tomato farm. A beautiful, peaceful plan. And then, without a single warning, the horn. Seriously? I'm trying to start a homestead here, not run a combat academy. But fine, whatever. I put on my best, don't mess with me face, and grabbed my trusted sword and axe. The fight was going great until my armor decided to call it quits mid-battle. 1 second I'm a brave hero, the next my chestplate is just gone. So I'm literally dodging crossbow bolts while trying to open my inventory and frantically craft myself a new one. All I'm thinking is, this is a terrible time for a crafting break. I won, of course, the farm is still standing, but my daily quota for silliness is completely used up, and I'm pretty sure my new armor has a lot more character than the last set. So the tomato farm is going to have to wait. I'm taking the rest of the day to sit down and process the sheer amount of nonsense that just happened. So I went out, cut the grass, and got a bunch of straw to make ropes. When I saw this pesky guy, a pillager. I'd have no clue where they're coming from. Wait, what's happening? Why is there a raid? Oh. Oh, it's because Estelle's here. This is a village now, of course. So I fought off the pillagers, and I broke my armor. Had to craft that back. Right in the middle of the fight. There were pillagers, there was a ravager. Everything. Just out to get me. And it was the middle of the night. So mobs were spawning. And I mean a lot of mobs. And somehow, this ravager, he can hit me through my own window. Barely surviving at 1 heart. And I died a few times, I can't even lie. I guided the ravager into the river because I think I might have a better chance at killing it here. Because on the land, this thing is way too fast. So once I killed it with the help of the pillagers, I tried going for them, but yeah, water and bows, or are they crossbows? Yeah, they don't go well together. I was at a severe disadvantage in the water. So I decided to use my last iron ingot and craft myself a shield. Because there is no way I will be able to kill these guys in hand-to-hand combat without a shield. And finally, the raid was finished. And I was the hero of the village. Estelle came down to greet me, and the prices were decent. Not the best, but they're better. The next day I decided I'd craft a supply cart. This cart will have all the resources and all the items I plan on trading with the villagers. I'll keep it right here, and whenever I have something that I think villagers trade for, like the paper and some emeralds. So I went back to the tomato farm, well, what is going to be a tomato farm, and finished up the building for it. I paved in some pathways, just so that it'd look a bit more aesthetic, and it would be easier for me to go in. Yeah, it doesn't make any difference, it just looks better. After putting the ropes too far down, I realized that I can't plant something on that block, so I got rid of them and planted our very first tomatoes. And then I decided to take the bone that I had and make some bone meal. I needed to make sure the vines are going up the rope and it's not just obstructing them. So I placed in the last few fence gates, and our tomato farm was all done. We'd made so much progress, and I just decided to harvest most of the crops. Well, all of the crops that I have, other than the tomatoes, and headed back home. In the house, I started looking up the Farmer's Delight foods, seeing what I could make, and I came across mixed salad. I just started the farms for all three of these, and perfect. There was a mixed salad which used cabbage, beetroot, tomatoes, and bowls. This was going to be my primary food source, and I won't have to depend on the stale and very plain bread that I've been eating for the entire time. So I harvested the very few beetroot and cabbages that I had, made some bowls, and I had made our very first dish, mixed salad. This was huge. We had just made our very first Farmer's Delight thing, and it meant that our farm was actually a farm. You know, I've always thought that a cozy farm isn't just what about you grow, it's about the lifestyle. So I figured, what's a more sophisticated addition than a vineyard? I spent a good chunk of time laying out all the rows of vines, making sure the spacing was perfect. It was a lot of careful planning, but it's all part of the charm. And of course, we're not just growing grapes here, we're making wine. We've got a small little cellar set up with a few barrels, and the first batch is officially brewing. The fermentation process is in full swing, and it's all very rustic. I'm not exactly sure what a good vintage looks like in Minecraft, but I'm optimistic. My dream is to have a little tasting room right here on the farm, but for now, I'll just have to be my own test audience. So you better stay tuned for the future episodes, if this isn't just gonna be a one-off thing. I'll decide that later. But we will be building a huge tasting room. One entire building set for just the vineyard. I then proceeded to repair my tools because, yeah, I think they look better orange and not all rusted away. I decided that we're going to work on the vineyard now. Not wasting any time, I made the aging barrels, put them down, and also crafted some vine stems. Vine stems? No, they're vine rods. Oh, they are stems. Okay, sorry. This was gonna be the perfect spot for the vineyard. Now I just had to flatten all of it, which took the entire day and the entire night. Not bad for terraforming. I decided to carve out a little pathway that would go all the way up the hill. And while I was doing that, I was met with a surprise. Oh, wait, what? No. I thought it was one. What? Is this a... This can't be a mod. I don't have mods like these. This is real? Oh my god. Okay. Get back. I have a sword. I'm not afraid to use it. Okay, these guys are... They're not gonna die anytime soon. I decided to run inside like the little scaredy cat I am, and went to bed, because I'd rather these guys burn and that creeper not get me in the crowd. So I finished up paving a pathway all the way up the hill towards where the vineyard's gonna be. And it was looking pretty decent. And then I got these dirt slabs. Never knew I had these in the game, but yeah, they look semi-decent. when we tried terraforming with them. So I put them down everywhere. Does this look good? No. Does that connect? Okay. That connects. But that doesn't look good. What about fence gates connect to fence, to a fence gate, and a wall. Perfect. We have our wall design. And let's just extend it this way. Okay, now diagonal that way. And no, that is not enough space. Let's do that many. And be right. Oh. Maybe like this? Well, no, that's too big. Okay. So I decided, yeah, I was just purely confused. I didn't know what to do, where to put the stems, or how I should organize them. But eventually I came up with a 2-block distance. It seemed fair enough and looked the best. On day 33, I came back up here with a few more grape seeds that I had gotten from the indoor grapevines and filled it in. And surprisingly, some of the grapes had already grown. So I harvested those. After heading back in, I used these barrel things and I put the grapes in them. And guess what? This is my favorite part. You can jump on them to mash them. Yeah, there's no crafting in this. You just jump on them. I love this. I used a few pieces of glass I had. No clue how I got it or when I made it. But I made some wine bottles with them. And we were ready to make some wine. We ended up with a fair amount of red and white grape juice. I almost called it wine juice. It's grape juice, okay. So I put this in and we had our very first brew. It was Joe's special mixture. They have pretty odd names. And this one, Noir Wine. Okay, I can't even talk. Okay. And then we had this other brew that we liked. I was trying to see which ones I can craft and which ones I can't. And I ended up with Mojang Noir, which gives us strength. That's a good one to have some fights with. And then I just put them in the small cellar I had. Turns out this one can't be put in there. But we can put the other ones in here. Which is perfect, because I was gonna make a bunch more of these, and them in here, they look beautiful. It's like our tiny wine cellar right in the house. But don't you worry, eventually we'll have a building dedicated just for this. Either it'll be up on the vineyard hill, or it might be somewhere else. But this farm is going to be huge. And this is just the beginning. On day 34, I decided I needed a horse, but fate took its turn and brought me to an ancient ruin, or whatever you'd call it, and luck of the C3! This was perfect because we have a farm, and a luck of the C3 fishing rod is going to be perfect for fishing. And eventually I stumbled upon another village, not too far away, and it was pretty decently sized, with a bunch of villagers. And where there's a village, there's resources to be borrowed. They're not getting these back anytime soon. So I took away all their emeralds, their apples, potatoes, their bookshelves even. These were gonna be good for trading with the librarians back at the actual village. Yeah, for me, this is just a temporary village. I greeted the villagers, but they didn't have any good trades, so I just went back to stealing from them. Until I found Jarvis. He looked good, so I kinda took him. But this time I remembered, I have the mod carry on. If I remember this earlier, we wouldn't have wasted time on Estelle and we could have just picked him up. So I spent the rest of the night smuggling villagers from that village all the way back to our farm. Seeing that creeper right there, I didn't want to cross paths with it. And I couldn't run either because I ran out of hunger. Now, I had brought back 4 villagers. Cleo was inside, Arwen, Jarvis, and Daisy, who has trampled my crops. Ah, a farmer good for nothing, eh? But at least, holy... Okay, I don't think they're happy with the whole relocation thing. And yeah, Jarvis, Arwen, Daisy, Cleo's a good one. She stays inside. But these 3, yeah, they're making a mess. They're trampling all over my crops, and I don't like it one bit. So, I had to go outside and make some new decorations, because those composter barrels... No, what were they? Wheelbarrows, yes. Those, we can't have them. We're gonna have to remove them. And I think these supply carts and animal carts, which will be more suitable for a farm vibe, and those makeshift ones, they didn't look the best. Wait, what? Golem? What are you? He's attacking me! Oh, come on, what did I do? Did I punch a villager? I might have done that. Oh, look, a bee. We'll start a bee farm, eventually. That's the plan. But, back to the iron golem thing. He wants to kill me. And I don't want to die. So, we need to stay as far as possible from him. Okay, no, Mr. Golem. Please, please, no, 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 no. No, get away from me. Oh my god, his reach! He broke my armor. Get away! Okay. I mean, at least we have villagers with inflated prices and an iron golem chasing me to death. So remember how I recruited those lovely villagers, brought them all the way to our little homestead with my own 2 hands? Well, it turns out forced relocation isn't the best for morale. Who knew? Let's just say the local economy has inflated significantly since their arrival. I go to trade for something simple like a wooden pickaxe, maybe, and their prices are through the roof. I'm talking 1 emerald for a single piece of wheat, kind of crazy. It's like they formed a tiny, disgruntled union overnight. And to top it all off, the Iron Golem, big metal, perpetually unimpressed Jerry, he's not happy with me. I think he misses his old pals back in the village. Every time I walk by, he gives me this look, this slow, deliberate turn. Ugh. Huh. I decided to stay outside and inside the pens. Yeah, outside of the house, inside the pens, far away from that golem. 'Cause I don't want him to kill me. Hey, yeah, I'm just gonna go right by here, Iron Golem. You do not have to worry about me. I'm not gonna hurt your villagers, or do anything to them. I just want to make some trades, that's all. So, I'm gonna dedicate today to just trading with the villagers, and hopefully bringing my trust back up with them. Because they don't like being stolen from their home, now do they? I'm gonna go harvest some of these tomatoes over here. And hopefully Daisy will trade for these. Because somehow I put in a mod that the villagers, well, they change their trades every now and then, so it's not the exact same one as we see now, or did it not change? My next goal was to get a toolsmith. Clueless that the blast furnace won't work, I started punching at Jarvis to make him go be a toolsmith, but looks like he doesn't want any of it. He chose to come straight to these barrels and become a fisherman. Twice. Yeah, he doesn't want to be a toolsmith one bit now, does he? Okay, finally. You? Okay, yes! Oh, now I can finally get some good tools out of these trades, even if they're pretty horrible. Alright, let's... Wait, you're not a toolsmith? Dang it! I need, what is it? A smithing table! And now you'll be a toolsmith. Holy... 64 for a stone shovel. Jarvis, are you crazy? I proceeded to harvest the last bit of wheat in hopes that Daisy has a good wheat trade and I could get a few emeralds off of her, while also restoring my reputation in the farm. There we go. Alright, and 2. That's it. 2 trades. It's fine, it's fine. It's not like I can use the emeralds anywhere, but it's fine for now. We'll get our reputation back. Somehow, hopefully. Let's plant these sugarcane. Maybe the villagers at the old farm, wait, no, the old village will have some better trades. So I ended the day off with gathering some more resources from the farm, such as the crops, the tomatoes, the sugarcane, and just trading with the villagers. It was pretty repetitive, so I didn't really want to keep it in the video. But as you can see, it's time to say goodbye now. And we'll meet in the next episode, whenever that is. So goodbye for now. Okay, for those of you who are wondering, why did you not close the door? I couldn't. That was free cam. I can't. But I'll close it for you. Whoever wanted the door closed, that is. Okay, yeah, so we've got our vineyard all up and ready. We've got this little cellar right here, and yeah, hey, Jarvis, what do you want? Jarvis? Okay, yeah, back to the cellar. So, we made our first brews. Yay! Okay, done with the beetroot farm, and the cabbage farm, and the tomato farm. And we have that vinery, or vineyard, I don't know what to call it, damn it. It's all the way up there. And we've got all the villagers in here. They're having a blast. A huge, big farm party. See you next time!